Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Patrick Lee. It's time for Midweek Motivation Live. We're going to talk to you today about who you are inside, how that happens to come outside of you. Eventually, we'll be back right after this. Good morning, back again. I hope y'all like the intro. I had that created by Nick and Michael, the guys at Content Cards, the same guys that do my digital business card that we market at the end of the show, www.patricklee.work. We've been using that intro for the last couple of years. Love that. Let me know in the comments if you think I need to update that. We've had a lot of new video in the last couple of years. Things we could add to that. We might change it up here soon, but I still love playing that. It's just a great testimony of a lot of the things that we have accomplished over the last few years. Love the work that they do for me. If at the end of the video, we always say that as well. If you or you personally or anyone you know is interested in buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate, that's what I do outside of this. I do the show for free for all of you. Have a team of people working with me as well. My daughter is behind me with her head down. That's Miss Erica. Erica Lee recently came to work for us a few months ago and does marketing. So most of the video content that you see posted now through Buzzsprout to all of the major podcast platforms, she does that. She creates most of our ads for us now. And on social media as well, and does a phenomenal job for us. We have other agents here that you can't see on camera working in the office right now. Sometimes they come in just to watch the show. A lot of times I'm here in the office when I'm broadcasting from here, broadcasting alone from the office, and they work in one of our other offices down the hall, or they're out showing properties, which is what we do. So we have a big team. We have 8 agents that work with me and multiple other people helping make this whole machine move forward. And it helps us to help dozens and dozens of people every year. I think last year we sold over 86 homes here in Amarillo with about 5 agents. So we stay busy for you. If you know of anyone needing to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, the Patrick Lee Group can definitely help you with that. We are able and ready to do that. But on to the topic today. Who are we? Who are we? Last week we talked in the previous podcast. We talked about being better together. It's better to be together, to have relationships. Being alone, the lone wolf, things like that are not necessarily helpful. In this show today, people already tuning in, people commenting, "Hey, man, because your team are rock stars, that deserves to go on screen." Thank you, Terry McCaffrey. We do our best most of the time. that's the most honest way to say it. You know, a lot of people brag and say we're always on our game. We do the best all the time. Hey, we're all human, but we do strive. We listen to our clients. We show up. We put in the long hours, and we do work to do our best for our clients. So if that makes you a rock star, I will gladly wear that label. Thank you. You're a good friend. People tuning in from all over the world, the known free world with internet, to watch Midweek Motivation Live. But today I do want to talk to you about who you are. We talked about our relationships, how to grow those, but I want to talk to us today about who we are. Are we becoming who we want to be? Turning yourself inside out. One of the things that I have found in life is that no matter how hard you try to hide who you are on the inside eventually has to come forward to the outside. Need a drink of coffee. That's good. drink a lot of coffee. Yesterday, Terry McCaffrey, my friend, and I actually went to our local, I got to give a shout out to Roasters Coffee Company here in Amarillo, Texas. We went up there to have a cup of coffee, and the previous owner, Craig, bought that years ago, grew the company, recently sold it to one of his top guys. They're carrying on the tradition, and I had never heard of this drink called the Pearl. And it's a cold brew with some cinnamon and vanilla flavoring in it with whipped cream on top or some kind of froth on top. And it was amazing. So if you want to know of something not on the menu, a hidden gem, go to Roasters Coffee Company, get you a Pearl cold brew. Thank you, Terry. That was an amazing cup of coffee yesterday, along with great company as we discussed life. And that's what we're talking about today. Who are you? Turning yourself inside out. Who you are on the inside eventually has to come out to the outside. And we have relationships with a lot of people. And we talk about relationships all the time on the show. But how many of you can testify that eventually a person you have relationship with will flip on you? They will change on you. All of a sudden, they become so familiar with you that they no longer suppress who they actually are inside. Trying to continue to look at the camera, and the different level that I have the camera at sort of makes it look like I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking at my keyboard. Do I need to move the camera? If I move the camera there, it looks like I'm looking at you more, but then it reflects in my glasses. See, none of this shows up on, some of it shows up on the podcast. Some of it doesn't if you're just listening by audio. So not that we're vain. I just want to put out a good show for you. And my daughter behind me is studying reading. That's her assignment today, is read. And then once she's done with that, she goes through social media for me and helps me keep in touch with all of the people I have a relationship with. So we're all on a journey of becoming who we really are. How many of you can testify that we've had that happen? You have a relationship with a friend, and because of familiarity, all of a sudden that person changes. They think that it's okay to start saying things around you that they normally didn't say when you're developing this relationship. You may have been friends with this person for years, and it may be that it's happened to you. You have gotten to a point in a relationship with some people that you have kept the relationship in the status of where you have wanted it to be for a long time, and things are not progressing along the lines that you think they need to be. And all of a sudden you have to change that relationship. Is that you changing, or is that who you really are coming out? As a man thinketh in his heart, as a man thinketh in his heart. How do you think in your heart? However, the Bible says that. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, right? Your thoughts control your actions. The way you think in your heart, who you are as a person cannot help but come out to the outside, no matter how hard you try to keep it there. Many people suppress urges, emotions, anger, bad thoughts, and that helps them to maintain their social status. It helps them maintain their position in their company, maybe as the leader of the company. But how many of you have seen and witnessed in the last 2 years on media, how many leaders of companies, how many politicians, how many preachers of the gospel have been exposed for their hidden lifestyle, their hidden agendas, their deceitful trade practices? We could go down that rabbit trail forever, but it is happening nearly every day. 1 or 2 or 3 of these people are being exposed. Their dirty deeds are coming out. Everything done in the dark cannot help but eventually be exposed and brought out into the light. Is that these people changing, or is that who they are on the inside turning inside out? So today really is a post for us to challenge all of ourselves and say, who are we really? Am I changing who I am? Am I becoming who I am? And that's part of the title that was sort of a question mark. Am I becoming who I am, or am I growing into a new person? Is the inside of me turning inside out and coming outside, or am I actually growing into or becoming the person I want to be, the person I have told everybody that I am? And what that challenges us to be is real. That's been the title of the show in the past. What's the real? Is this the real you? It challenges to start becoming real. It challenges us to start speaking our truth. Another topic of a previous show, speaking your truth. Is your truth necessarily my truth? No. Is my truth necessarily your truth? No. But I have learned, and right now I'm in the middle of a political process. I have been nominated by our local board of realtors to fill the position on the board as a board of directors member, and we put together a pack of agents that are all like-minded, but all rightfully so strong individuals in their own ways and with great leadership qualities. And we are running against some other agents, and the gloves came off yesterday and today in some social media posts where people are upset with things that are happening and they don't feel like the truth is being exposed or made known. So they have taken to social media, as have I. And when you do that, you realize that relationships you have kept for so long may be jeopardized by the things that you say. And in the post yesterday, I exposed or said a lot of things that are simply the way I feel, the things that I have personally experienced, the things that I have personally witnessed. Then other agents on the other side, or other agents that we're supposed to be collaborating with, working together with at the association, have said other things, and some have tried to keep it neutral and keep all of the comments respectable. And I appreciate that as well, because those of you that watch the show know me. I'm not a vindictive person. I'm not an angry guy. And I'm a peacemaker, not a peacekeeper. And I believe that that's what we are called to be as Christians. Is blessed. The Bible says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, not the peacekeepers." That's a quote I will attribute to my pastor, Brian Gibson, from a sermon a few weeks ago. And when he said that, it revolutionized one of my thought processes as well, because for the years, possibly decades, I felt like I was a peacekeeper. But I'm not called to be a peacekeeper. You know who is? Police officers, peace officers. They're called to keep the peace. We are called to make peace. Terry says, dying is so hard, but in order to be who God created each of us to be, we must die to our flesh. Amen, brother. That's a good word. That's a good word. We must. So if we have ill will towards other people, if we are harboring feelings against other people that we have relationship with, but we never make those feelings known, are we actually helping that relationship, or are we harming it by hiding things? Eventually, when the heat is turned up, those feelings will come out, and then we're going to hurt that person in a way that we never intended, right? Is that something that you want to do? Do you want to hurt someone in that relationship by allowing angry thoughts, jealous thoughts, envious thoughts, past grudges, things that you have held against people to come out when the heat is on, when something bad happens? And then everyone starts pointing the finger and playing the blame game. Playing the blame game. I've dealt with it way too much lately, and it turns my stomach. That's why we're talking about it today. If it motivates me, I hope it will motivate you too. We have so many people in our lives that we have a relationship with. I'm a relationship guy. All of you people are relationship people. But we play this game of being nice and sweet and always saying the right thing around the people that we know we have relationship with. But how many of you change who you are depending on who you're with? I can act a certain way with this friend, but I can't act that way with this friend, because this friend over here is going to judge me if I act the same way I do with that friend. Why are we worried about a friend in one relationship judging us if we act differently? And then number two, why are we acting differently? If we're acting differently with other people, is that who we really are? Are you being your real self with this friend and not that friend? Or is your real self the way you act with that friend, not this friend? See, it's an incredible tug of war. Who are you really? Who you really are has to come inside out. Who are you the most comfortable hanging around with, and why? Is it the scotch drinking cigar smoking, good old boys at your friend's man cave? Is it your Christian friends that you hang out with and do Bible study with? Is it the people you play sports with? Is it your family? Who are you the most comfortable hanging around? When you're the most comfortable, is it because that's who you really are? If you're not challenged to be better, are you really growing into the person you want to be? Are you hanging around with the people that are challenging you to act better, to grow, to think new thoughts, to adapt to new ideas? Who are you? Hope this is helping some of y'all today. It's helping me. And I have probably said in the last 2 weeks to a group of friends, I don't care what they think of me anymore. Is that because of I am changing, or is that because I am growing, or is it because I have suppressed thoughts, feelings, and emotions around some people to maintain relationships? Boom. That's where we're at, right? If it helps me, maybe it'll help you. Let's let that sink in for a minute. I have found that in the past, the more real we are, the more honest we are with people, the more productive we are. My people on my team can share the things that they're going through with me, and we are all going through a lot right now. Everyone on my team. I've had multiple calls from people on my team just this morning over things that are going on. I've had probably 36 messages in one group over a multitude of things that are going on, multiple social media posts that needed to be addressed today, and multiple issues that are going on with other things that need to be scheduled, and appointments that have to be had, that have to be attended. And I've told a couple of the people that I was texting this morning. I'm a texter, not a phone caller. If you know me, I'm a texter, and we're texting, and it's like, hey, we're all busy. Let's see if we can fit this into our schedule. And if it does, that's okay. And if it doesn't, we'll bump it to tomorrow. But we are all going in so many different directions. We're trying to maintain all of these relationships. It can be frustrating. It can be taxing. But when all of that happens and you are put to the test, who you are comes out, and you have to start realizing, okay, which post am I going to answer and which one am I not going to answer? Which relationship do I have with this person that's going to be offended if I don't answer immediately versus this other person who usually responds about an hour later, so I can respond about an hour later? How do we get anything done if we all work that way? We're so busy worried about how we react to one person's message or conversation and not the other person. Is that who we really are? Yes. Who you are inside cannot avoid or cannot help, but eventually come out. And that is why I try to surround myself with people that I know, love, and trust, because it's okay when who they are inside comes out, because we want to be real with each other. If we're real with each other, we have relationship with each other, and that relationship isn't challenged when someone goes through a trial. That relationship isn't challenged when they're going through a hard spot and they need some help. Or my relationship isn't challenged when I'm going through a hard spot and I need some help. Everyone steps up to help each other. We're there emotionally. We're there financially if we need to be. Physically, we just show. Sometimes you just show up and hang out or understand or listen, right? Thank you, Terry, because when you stand up for the right, yes, when you make a stand. Aaron Tippin said this years ago. I think it was probably during one of the Gulf Wars. He sang that song, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. When you start to stand up for something, and you are a person in the past who has never really been a stand-up person, doesn't mean you're not honest, but it just means you've never really been a soapbox kind of guy. You don't go jump up on a soapbox and start preaching about a cause. You don't adopt a cause. You don't become vocal about things that may be wrong, social injustice, things that irk you. I've shared on the show multiple times in the past how to find your calling in life, right? And if something is important to you, it's probably something that's going to make you incredibly angry or incredibly sad. If it makes you cry, perhaps that's a good insight into what your calling in life is. If something makes you furious to the point that you want to get involved and go affect change, Maybe that's part of your calling in life, and that's what you need to go get involved in. If nothing makes you cry and nothing makes you mad, what a boring life you must live. So when you start standing up for these things, when you find out what things matter to you, when you start standing up for the underdog, when you start standing up or speaking out against the people that are being exploited, or the people that are being used, or the people who have been deceived and don't even know it, other people who have been playing nice with you, all of a sudden who they are inside comes out, because they don't have to play nice anymore, because their motives have been suppressed in order to maintain a working relationship. And when you challenge that, the gloves come off. Who they are inside starts coming out to the outside. And is that a good thing? It's only a good thing as long as you can make it a positive thing. If you can use it to affect change, if you can use it to intensify or grow your relationship, absolutely. Isn't that the goal? Is for who we are inside to come outside? Because when it does, that's when you truly become free. Right? We are born on the day that we are conceived, but we become set free once we get over worrying what other people think about us. When we can get past that point, true freedom shows up. True freedom shows up when you no longer care what other people think about you. Does that mean that we're going to change into arrogant jerks who don't consider anyone else's feelings at all? Absolutely not. Please don't misread what I'm saying, because consideration for others, courtesy, all of these things, love, all work hand in hand for the betterment of our fellow brother, our fellow sister. But your main concern of having to act a certain way, otherwise this person in this relationship's not going to like me, or maybe this person in this relationship isn't going to spend money with me, that manipulates you and puts you in prison. And when you get over that, you become free. But you're still going to be nice. You're still going to have a kind word for those that deserve a kind word. You're not going to intentionally turn around and try to hurt people. You're just going to be true to who you are. You're going to intensify and grow those relationships with your friends and your business associates. And that's what Midweek Motivation Live is all about. Growing, becoming who we really are, allowing ourselves to be set free of societal norms, acting the way that they tell us we're supposed to act, and just being free. Being kind to others, number one. Having courtesy, having manners, taking care of your fellow brother, your fellow man, your fellow sister, people that are not as blessed as you, being grateful for everything that you have been blessed with, and becoming a good steward of what you've been blessed with to affect change in the lives of others. Hey guys, I'm out of here. This show is coming to an end. I hope this has helped you. It's helped me. Every time I talk about a subject, it's therapeutic. I'm never pointing a finger at you. I'm pointing them at me. I'm always looking at the man in the mirror. And I hope this has helped you today. Set yourself free. Be who you really are. Do it with kindness. Stop hiding behind a fake persona, a mask, being some person, trying to keep up these charades of who you are, trying to change your attitudes and your emotions around different people just to maintain different types of relationships. It's unhealthy. It's not good for your psyche. It's like you're schizophrenic and you're trying to be all of these different people at once. Why don't you just be the true you? Be yourself and let the people love you for who you are. And if you're not everyone's cup of tea, that's fine. Let those people move on and be someone else's cup of tea. Okay? You don't have to be bound to that prison anymore. You are set free today by Patrick Lee at Midweek Motivation Live. You guys have a great day. Until next time, this has been Patrick Lee at Midweek Motivation Live saying, comfort begins at the end of your comfort zone. Or growth, how does that go? Growth begins. Courage begins. Courage begins at the end of your comfort zone. So get out of your comfort zone. I dare you to do it today. Bye-bye.